OK and Junior qualifying heat 3 is underway. Let's take you through the starting lineup. Toby Gale and Marcus Shilkunis, who has had 2 wins out of 2 so far today, starts on the front row of the grid. Caden Higgins and James Ignatiades, who finished 3rd on the podium yesterday in the final, he starts on the 2nd row. Zain El Hobasani and Nikita Gedesmits on row number 3 from Connor Clancy, and Luna Flusha on row 4. Dinia Islamov and Angelina Simmons-Torres go from row 5. Salamat Soy and Jeremy Montgomery Swan on row 6. Adadi Donka and Max Murray go from row 7. Zachariah Dole and Maria Nadeli on row 8. Augustus Toniolo and Raquel Zares Faladin on row number 9. Alexander Dahlstrom, who hopefully is out on the track. We did not see him in the first 2 races. Let's see if he's out in this one. With Dan Dalakian on his own on the 10th row of the grid. Egon Pedrotti from Ella Hakkinen, Katrina E and Karine Kaur round out the 23 carts that I believe may be out on track at this moment in time. And have confirmation that, yeah, Alexander Dahlstrom not back out on the circuit, so big shame there for him. Warm-up lap completed, formation lap now underway. Drivers will have to slow it down going into the final sector now. You've had your time to get temperature into those tyres. So right now these drivers just getting ready for their last chance to qualify for their position in the final. For Marcus Shilkunis, he's got maximum points here, 100. He's looking like the favourite to start on pole position for this one. The driver who didn't even finish within the top 5 yesterday in the final is looking very strong today. Toby Gale still 2nd in the intermediate classifications. They are looking like a 1-2 start at the moment, but Nikita Gedesmits, who is 3rd, might have something to say about that. Luna Flusha, who's 4th, they would lock out row number 2 as it stands, but that will all change by the end of this race. Drivers coming in now towards the red line. They are not allowed to overtake from this point onwards. They have to be in formation, and we do see that for our front runners. This is looking good here. OK and Junior qualifying heat 3 then, enters the tram lines and green lights go on and away they go down towards turn 1. Great start then from Toby Gale, holds on to that inside line as well as the rest of the field. Through they go in towards turn number 2. Some carts running wide there on the exit, but crucially everyone gets through the first few corners unscathed, and it's still a good start from our front 2 rows. Marcus Shilkunis there in 3rd place and holding onto it. Very nice start then for the entirety of the field as they go down in towards turn number 8. Everyone just looking for that clean piece of track, but it's still the 111 of James Ignatiades there in 3rd place as well. He has still had a good start. A little bit wide there was Max Murray as he tries to get back onto the straight there. Gets nearly kicked out to the dusty part of the track. James Ignatiades there in 3rd place, still pushing in as hard as he can. Not able to close in as quickly as he'd like though. Into the final section they go, and look at this clean breakaway here for our top 3. It is Toby Gale who leads the way then from Marcus Shilkunis. Then it's James Ignatiades from 4th place who's up to 3rd. From Zain El Hobasani, it's not been a good start once again for Caden Higgins. He's dropped down to P8 on that opening lap. An absolute disaster for him. Not sure what happened to him this time around. Maybe just a little bit wide on one of the corner. There is Nikita Gedesmits battling away with Zain El Hobasani. That's for 4th place. And you saw there, Zain all over those curves. He had a retirement earlier on as well. Not sure what happened, but through goes Nikita Gedesmits after that big bumpy moment through the chicane. Connor Clancy is close in as well, the 1-2-2 right behind. He's waiting to pick up any pieces that may come from this battle here. It doesn't look to the inside, neither of them. They stay behind. Luna Flusha as well, just behind Connor Clancy, looking to get in. Flusha, best result has been a P4 as down the inside goes Connor Clancy through 16, gets it done before they even get towards turn 17, and that's nicely calculated there as they try and close up the gap towards these drivers here. Gale, Shilkunis and Ignatiades, who are all closing in together. That battle for first is not over yet. And Gedesmits, who's there in 4th place, is the next one to try and close in. We'll keep an eye on the gap as the race progresses. It's currently about 1.4 seconds, the gap between Nikita Gedesmits and James Ignatiades, so they are working hard there to try and close that gap up as much as they can. But if they start scrapping, it just will not work out for them. It Here's a replay of the start then, as the live pictures continue on your right-hand side of the screen. You can keep an eye on both. But here, nice steady start. You can just see there the words of the drivers there at the beginning. But the initial getaway, good start then for everyone. Now, what happened to Caden Higgins? He was on the inside there. So he's in third place as they go through turn number 2. What happens through turn number 3? Just out of shot there, and it looks like maybe he got a little bit of a track slapper there, because when they exited out of the corner, he was nowhere to be seen. Massive use of the curbs there. Looks so uncomfortable for Zain Al-Hobasani, and that just allowed Nikita Gedesmich to get down the inside. Still no change in the order there on the live feed. They have all stayed the same. Gale still leads from Shikunis and Osiidis. Gershon still in 4th place and is closing in, I would say. The gap is down a little bit more now. It's less than 2 seconds now is the gap, but it's still a ways to go. We are on lap 4 of 9. Here's your battle on screen, 2nd and 3rd. Marcus Shikunis and James Ignatiadis. And they continue to hunt down Toby Gale, who leads this way. Toby, who is looking for a qualifying heat win today. At the moment, he is still 2nd in the intermediate classifications. He needs to beat here Marcus Shikunis, but Shikunis here in 2nd would still be on pole position. Now, James Ignatiadis could help out here, Toby Gale, if he can get past. And he would push Marcus Shikunis down a little bit in the intermediate classifications, but it's a tall order here. It is tough to overtake. Now, the sun looks like it's gone behind a cloud there. Cloud has come over the circuit. Should help the drivers a little bit out there with cooling down, but the air temperature is still very, very hot here, still 30 degrees. Very harsh on the drivers. Back through the final corner they go. And still no change for your top 3. Gershwit's still there. Gap 1.5 seconds. Not closing in for 3rd place. These 3 still driving away from the rest of the field, and it looks like Gale is actually driving away from Shikunis and Ignatiadis here. James Ignatiadis looking like he wants to go for the move as Sarah Matsui takes the fastest lap of the race, 55.793. As the gap continues to just fluctuate here between 2nd and 3rd. Not able to do much. Looks like Luna Boucher's got up into 5th place as well. Battle's still happening further behind. Connor Clancy down into 6th place from Zain Al-Hobasani. James Ignatiadis, who started this one P4, currently P3, gaining that 1 position. Still at this moment not able to get past Marcus Shikunis off the track there. That's a disaster. And again for Maria Nadelli, it's another retirement and into the barriers there by the looks of it. And the Italian, unfortunately, very frustrated, visor down and does not want to say a word there at all. Now, Nikita Gedesmich, now with the fastest lap of the race, has closed the gap. It's come down about 0.3 of a second with these guys scrapping away, and well, Gales has lost his lead and Shikunis has closed back in now. We could have a 4-car battle here going on to the last lap if one of these drivers make his moves. Nikita Gedesmich should latch on to the back of this group, and we are going to see a move here for the race lead, and it was very, very close there in towards turn 16, and that was almost the race over for Marcus Shikunis as he tried to dive down the inside of Toby Gale, and Gale just slammed the door closed there, and it was a big, big moment for Marcus Shikunis, nearly losing the back end. And oh, there you can see the frustration and the emotion for Maria Nadelli there. The Italian driver has just not had the results she's wanted. An absolute disaster for Toby Gale. He's going to get a result here that he definitely wants. And there now you can see from James Ignatiadis, who's got up into 2nd place now after all of that scrapping. Gedesmich has closed in as well, and so has Luna Flusha. And now we've got a 4-car battle for 2nd place as Shikunis looks to the inside once more. Not able to get it done. Gedesmich as well stays there behind in P4. And Luna Flusha in P5 covers that inside line. Now it looks like James Ignaciadis is solid there in second place. He does not need to worry as they go on to the final lap. It's all down to third place. Marcus Shilkunis, who is still hoping he can get a pole position start here. And look at Luna Flusha there to the inside through turn 2. 2 out of 1 gets both Marcus Shilkunis and Nikita Gedesmich, but through back goes Shilkunis, and here comes Conor Clancy as well. Luna Flusha gaining 2 positions, now loses 3 as she dives to the inside of Nikita Gerasmich, and there's contact between the two of them. Gerasmich goes up on 2 wheels, nearly flips the kart, and now tumbles down the order. Arti Dodonka, Zainal Homasani comes into play as well. It's all kicked off in that mid-pack, but Toby Gale has led this one from flag to flag here, and he looks solid to win his first qualifying heat of the day. Out of turn 15 in towards 16 and 17 he goes, and he will secure where would he cross the line now? He will secure a second place start in the final later on, but he secures a top spot in the qualifying heat. What a drive there for Toby Gale across the line. He will start second in the final later on today, alongside Marcus Shilkunis, despite the fact that he dropped down to third, still secures his pole position start after the 2 wins he had earlier on. And it really kicked off there between the drivers on that last lap. Conor Clancy, Zainal Homasani and Arthur Dodonka both getting up 4th, 5th and 6th, from Sada Matsui, who gained 4 positions, and Dan Dalakian, who finished 8th, gaining 12 places from Augustus Toniolo. Dina Islamov finishing in the top 10. But for your drivers behind, Luna Flusha, unfortunately, finishing in P13. Where did Nikita Gedesmich finish? Just behind P14 as well. So drama on that last lap in the midfield for 2 of our drivers. It did give Caden Higgins a chance to get back up a couple of positions, though, after he dropped down 9 places to finish in P12, unfortunately for him. And the recovery job will happen with the karts that will be stricken out on the circuit. But let's look at the provisional classifications then at the end of qualifying heat 3. And let's go through then the first 4 rows then of the final. It will be Marcus Shilkunis from Toby Gale on row 1, Conor Clancy from James Ignaciadis on row 2, Nikita Gedesmich and Luna Flusha, who I'm sure is not going to be in the best of talking moods between themselves, on row number 3. And Sarah Matsui and Zainal Homasani, who just pipped himself up to 8th in the intermediate classifications, would start on the outside of row number 4. But for this man here, Toby Gale, he secures a front row lockout for the final and his first qualifying heat win of the day. The driver from Thailand congratulates and celebrates with his mechanic and team and gets ready for their final later on today. Well, good stuff there for Toby Gale and James Ignaciadis and Marcus Shilkunis. Shilkunis not taking a 3rd qualifying heat win. Couldn't go for 3 for 3. Had to settle for 3rd. But still a solid result. We will see the juniors out later on today for their final. Make sure you stay tuned for that one. That one is due to go out on track at 4 o'clock local time here in Abu Dhabi. So do make sure you set your alarms